Attention is mine. Dan Wootton reveals Meg filed a bombshell divorce to overshadow King's coronation. On Thursday, the news broke via a sparing Buckingham Palace statement, all 36 words of it, that while Harry will be attending his father's coronation next month, the Duchess will not, and instead will be staying home with the couple's 2 children. This revelation has now put an end to a good 6 months of speculation about whether the Sussexes would front up for His Majesty's big day, a serious question mark over their attendance given that relations between the royal family and the California-based duo are about one step away from some Jerry Springer-esque hair-pulling on the palace forecourt. However, while reports suggest that the king is dead pleased his younger son and #1 source of stress-related dermatitis will be in the crowd for the biggest day of his life, what has largely been overlooked is one particularly unusual detail. Daily Mail's Dan Wootton popped up on Twitter to post, "Huge relief today from William and Kate in particular. Clearly Meghan's presence will not be missed." Still, no matter why Harry and Meghan have made this coronation decision, that does not change the fact that he now faces having to get through what could end up being one of the hardest days of his adult life solo. And, Harry and Meghan are not doing this together. Since their engagement interview in November 2017, the Sussexes have physically held on to each other in public like they are forever worried the other might be blown away by a strong gust of wind. Inside Westminster Abbey, the United Nations General Assembly, the 9/11 Memorial, Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace, on red carpets, London streets and even delivering food to the underprivileged in LA, the duo has remained quite literally attached to one another. And yet come Coronation Day, they will be 8,500 kilometers apart. The decision for them to divide and conquer, so to speak here, is a highly atypical one for the pair who normally do everything as royal twofer. Both Harry and Meghan have been unerringly, nauseatingly ready to gush about their connectedness. Last year in the Duchess' first major solo interview since relinquishing her keys to the Buckingham Palace stationery cupboard, Meghan told the Cut that she and her husband were like salt and pepper. "We always move together." Elsewhere in the same piece she cooed, "One of the first things my husband saw when we walked around the house was those 2 palm trees. See how they're connected at the bottom? He goes, 'My love, it's us.' And now every day when Archie goes by us, he says, 'Hi, Mama. Hi, Papa.' So why are Salt and Pepper not moving together this time? What has happened to their relentlessly united front?" One explanation that has bubbled up is that May 6 also happens to be their son Archie's 4th birthday. Therefore, Meghan is staying home to do parent duty while Harry tootles off to London to incur the chilliest of cold shoulders from his family. Except, there is a very obvious rejoinder to this argument. Last year both the Duke and Duchess, along with Archie and his sister Princess Lilibet, flew back to the UK for only 4 days for the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration and managed to fit Lily's first birthday party in during such a brief trip. Given that both children are obviously now older, thus making them less of a liability on a lengthy transatlantic flight, and that the Sussexes seemed to easily combine both duty and parenting during the Jubilee, why couldn't they have just done the same thing this time around? It is thought that the coronation will finish by about 1 p.m., meaning that they could be back at Frogmore around 2 p.m., leaving plenty of time for Archie to be suitably feted by his adoring parents and to consume his body weight in chocolate cake. Still is another theory about this curious salt and pepper move. Maybe Meghan simply didn't wanna. Maybe she didn't want to have to stomach purse-lipped in-laws, being given decidedly B-list seats and having to watch the Prince and Princess of Wales and their children positively showered in adoration. Maybe, the Duchess simply could not stomach what going back would involve, emotionally, psychologically and sartorially. All indications suggest that the reception that would have greeted the 41-year-old would have been a decidedly unpleasant one, both inside and outside the Abbey. Cara Kennedy, writing in The Spectator, reported that a source close to the family, who will attend the coronation, had told her that Meghan's presence may not have been entirely welcome. It's more likely she would have been booed. That's a view backed up by the BBC's royal correspondent John E. Diamond, who said during a radio interview, There was genuine concern in the palace that if Meghan turned up she would be booed on the streets. A palace official said exactly that to me. I think this is probably what they, the royal family, want, which is Prince Harry's in the fold. Attention is mine. Dan Wootton reveals Meg filed a bombshell divorce to overshadow King's coronation. On Thursday, the news broke via a sparing Buckingham Palace statement, all 36 words of it, that while Harry will be attending his father's coronation next month, the Duchess will not, and instead will be staying home with the couple's 2 children. This revelation has now put an end to a good 6 months of speculation about whether the Sussexes would front up for His Majesty.